Welcome back to the SP Studios with your boy, the one and only Alec Killer Solo Player. Everything I think you already know what it is. If you don't, you're gonna find out. So this episode right here, I felt like I've been wanting to talk about this for a minute, waiting for the perfect time to get the time to sit down just to speak on this. I feel like this is the episode that's most needed over a lot of episodes you done heard me do. You see, I did the LeBron joint on the last one. It couldn't be more than one GOAT. And before that, we went politics. We talked about Carmella. Don't think if I'm bashing her. It was all love, but we knew Trump was gonna be president. This one right here, I feel like it's more focused on the conversation that we need to have that everybody might be a little scared to have because we don't know how to use these words properly. And this is mental health. Because a lot of times when you hear mental health, the first thing you think, somebody slow, uh, somebody dealing with an issue that's beyond, beyond means, somebody who's incapable of doing things that or thinking as a regular person could think. But it's so many stages of mental health, and I feel like every human being deals with a bit of mental health. Just my opinion. Y'all know I'm very opinionated when I come on this show. When I come to Solo Player Network, I try to stay opinionated as possible. I don't say nothing is all the way fact. I say I'm giving my, me personally, I'm giving my feelings or opinion or how I feel, about a situation. So please don't ever take me as I'm saying that, I'm always 100% correct. I'm literally saying these are just my opinions of how I feel about the situation. So I want to put that on the table first before we go any further. So yes, this is just my opinion. Very opinionated conversation. All right. So mental health is a very serious thing that I feel like a lot of people deal with. You do have some people who have to take medication for mental health, and it helps them to calm their nerves down. They got all these different names, ADHD, and there's so many different names they got when they want to use the word mental health. Me personally, I deal with mental health myself. I tell this story all the time when I lost my grandparents who raised me up. That put a bit disdain on my heart to where I start drinking a little bit more. I start getting out of character a little bit more than I used to be. And that was because of my mental health. I can honestly say I feel like it was part of my mental health because I lost somebody so important to me. People who gave me the route. As y'all see in in one of my videos when I call Neil on that, when I literally say they're like guys to me. They're the ones I saying on an everyday basis. Make it happen. Like when we had nothing, we didn't know we didn't have nothing. We was happy, you know what I mean? So when you grow up in that type of environment, it automatically puts you in the mind frame to think like these are guys to you, in my opinionated expression. So mental health is such a big thing. What made me come with this episode on mental health because I done seen a lot of it going on around me, more outward of people expressing their mental health and not even wanting to be called that. And when you call it out on it, they feel like you're shaming them. You should never feel shame about your mental health because mental health can go either way. You can have a positive mental health, you know what I mean, where you don't let anything gets to you, and that's still a mental health. You know what I'm saying? Because there's something wrong with that. Something should always touch you in some kind of way, negative, positive, some kind of way. It should be a balance in life. So for somebody to say that, oh, nothing's never wrong or everything is always perfect, that's a mental health right there because they're battling with another demon inside that they just don't want other people to see. I can adjust to that because most of the time y'all see me is always with a smile on my face. You don't know what I'm going through. I could have just went, you know what I'm talking about? But I ain't putting it out there because I feel like me expressing it to you only gives you a conversation for you to judge me. And your judgment of me could get back to me and can mess up my mental health even worse. Then what happens? I do something that's out the realm to where I put myself in a situation where I either hurt somebody or I get hurt or however, or I got to go sit down because I put myself in a position because of my mental health. I feel like we should respect people more in this era instead of bashing people. In the social media era, we're able to be cyber bullies easier than it was 10 years ago. Reason I say that because they add even more things that you can go on to use your content in and to say whatever you want. So Facebook, as y'all see, if y'all see me on Facebook, I'm pretty much just posting one of these here from the SP network and something like that. I don't really post my kids on there too much because a comment that comes off wrong can affect how I react. So dealing with mental health and understanding that I feel that everyone have some sort of mental health. I tried to be as much pleasant about what I say about anything. Like when I did that thing on there when I was talking about Kamala, I could have been disrupting her mental health. I don't know. She could have actually seen my videos. I doubt it, but she could have seen my video and felt I was bashing her by bringing up my opinions that were closer to fact, to things that I studied and I researched on my own. But I could have been messing with her mental health. I don't know. She could have felt like, oh man, I'm bashing her, but I was just saying the true status about what I researched and what I have seen over the years. But how do I know how it affected the next person? What I said, my statements. So our statements are very strong. We was taught as kids that our tongue is one of the most powerful things in the world. What you let fall outside your lips from that little pink thing that's slithering around in there can really hurt somebody, and it can affect somebody's mental health. Now, we can have a sense of care to say, hey, I can't let too much affect me too fast because I became an understanding of myself that what they used to say, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Who says they don't? They do. People, we was taught to believe that way, not knowing the severity of the words that people say and how they really hurt and how it can mentally tear you down and mess up your health. But somebody would tell you, oh, they just talking. You can't get mad. Let them say what he want to say. You know you ain't that. It still messes with the mental health at the end of the day. The words that you use. You see somebody that's a little slower than you, and then you might be jokey with it. Oh, man, you this, man. You ain't worth it. Man, boy, I would have did that, such and such and such. You don't know if they putting they all in what they're doing or not. Maybe that's all they got to give, and they putting everything in it. That's an effort. But just the little things that you might say could be messing with their mental health where they feel down and like, wow, I really respect this person so much. I can't believe this person said this about me. I can't believe this person would stoop this low to take time out to mention something negative about me when I actually look up to this person. They might not even know it. But I actually look up to this person, but to hear this person retort the stuff that they're saying about me is really, it's cutting real deep, and they don't know it. They think it's a joke. And then you see that person go through something when you look on the news later and you like, oh man, our favorite thing to say, I was just with him the other day. Man, just the other day boy, if I just had, that's when we start going into, which affect the person's mental health too. That's when you start going into scenarios in your mind where you wonder like, well, what if I had so when you start going into those scenarios, your mind is overworking itself because you're overthinking. It's nothing you could do when it's God's time, when it's a person's time to go, but something you might have said couldn't affect they help them go a little bit quicker than you was expecting. But at the same time, it was God's time because God already had the number. But I'm just saying, something that you said, it must have been what you said that God already wrote in the book that you was going to say something to make a person commit suicide. That's why we got to watch how we talk. I look at my daughters and stuff and I talk to them and we speak and some of the things they bring back to say a kid might have said something so crazy at school that bothered them. And I used to be the same way. It's just words, baby. You just let it go, bloody whoop whoop. As long as they don't put their hands on you. And that's the number one thing. Let them say what they want, as long as they don't put their hands on you. But the mind frame of how we dumb down our kids so much through social media and through the internet to where they believe everything that's on the internet, they don't have the strong capacity of thinking that it's just words no more. It cuts deep. And that bothers a person's mental health. I was telling my dad this the other day when I was telling him, like, me and him at one point when we wasn't on the best of terms. You know what I mean? I was coming up through school, bloody with the we wanted the best of term. And when he had his stroke, it brought us closer together. Now, you listen to the rap say I can't say nothing about my dad because he wasn't never there. My dad was there. He was there in a different way. You feel me? He wasn't there how I probably thought as a kid that he should have been there for me. But it took something as strong as him having his stroke to make me realize, like, dang, what if he was gone? What would I would have been doing then? Over crying, talk about how much I miss him, talk about how I wish when I got the time right now to spend the time with him now to help me with my mental health, to not worry about what I can't change from yesterday because it's already said and done. What can I do to correct it to go further on in life today? So that'd be the message when I speak on it. So when my daughter come and she was like, well, Dad, he called me stanky at school. She's 8 years old now, but you know how the kids can be harsh. And they made names and they said names in me. And I say, okay, did you say anything back? Yeah, I called him a such and such and such. Okay, well, both of y'all was wrong. Just because you my daughter, I'm not going to just defend you. He should have never said that or she should have never said that to you when you're going tick for tat right back. So it's teaching early that, yes, words do hurt. It's how you receive them and how you dish them out. I had somebody literally tell me themselves a couple weeks ago. They said, man, bro, no, it was about a month ago. They said, man, bro, man, your music ain't what it used to be. You used to be one of the hardest in the world, man. You ain't that no more. You done fell off. Okay. I'm not in the industry. I just like to make music. But on a personal note, it's like, but man, you listen to this dude and he ain't nowhere near on me. Now I'm gauging the mental health because I heard it right there in that moment. Man, that dude ain't even close to me, and that's your favorite rapper, and you gonna talk about I ain't hard no more, and man, all right, appreciate you. I appreciate your opinion. Because everything's opinionated now. He couldn't prove it in the fact that my music wasn't good no more because I still have people who support the music that I do. So I could have lost it here and took his word as face value to say that was a fact what he said. He just literally gave me his opinion. And however I received it and I ran with it, that's part of my mental health. I could have broke down and like, man, I ain't got it no more. Who said I still want to have it? My oldest is 25 years old, so that goes to tell you how long I've been in the game. You know what I mean? For a nice little minute. So for someone to say anything like that to me, I have to take it in my own to say, hey, how do I want to receive that, and then how I want to react towards what I just heard. Have you ever talked to your child and you said something to them and you was like, hey, I don't think that's a good idea. You shouldn't do that. And they be like, no, but I know this. I got it. And then their uncle or best friend come and say the exact same words you say, and they be like, oh yeah, I see where you coming from. Sometimes it's just how people want to receive it for who they want to receive it from. But what that does to people as parents, man, I can't believe I just told them the same thing, and the outsider came in and said something. That bothers a parent. That make a parent feel some type of way. Because I literally just told you that I didn't think that was a good idea. I was the wrongest person in the world. But somebody comes right behind me and tell you the exact same thing, almost verbatim, and you understand it. When the counselor has been inside the house the whole time as a parent, sometimes we feel like that, like, oh man, kid, man, don't listen to nothing I say, blah, blah, whoop, whoop, till we go back to when we used to listen or did not listen. I never let an opinion make me go outrageous too quick. What I'm gonna say in my latter years, I haven't. Back in the days, opinions used to hurt. And don't you know that caused stress, and stress could cause death? I just thought I'd throw that out there. It can mess with your mental health. It can throw you off your rocket. It can throw you off the path that you already felt that you was on pursuing to do good in your life, but just a conversation of somebody making an opinion can affect your mental health. Just believe that. Or you don't have to believe it because it's just my opinion. Remember, I told you I just opinionated on this. I never said none of this was fact. Just how I feel about the situation. But I see we've got a lot of struggle with it, and we're not helping each other out. We're tearing each other down even more to affect to the mind frame of what was back in the 70s and the 80s and the 90s, early 2000s. We're going into a whole different generation where this box that y'all even viewing me through can control a person's mental or an opinion or feeling to really stress them out to deal with mental health. I remember my sons actually fought one time about was the world round or was the world flat. But they wanted to be right on both sides to where it became from a discussion to a debate to an argument, then a fight. Words are powerful. How you use them is more than anything. I go back, sitting down with one of my boys the other day, and I was listening to some of my old tracks, and I'm like, the things I said in there, I could have influenced the culture to feel like that's the right thing to do. I wasn't too fast to talk about killing. That just never was my thing. Even though I'm Alec Killer, I never was fast to talk killing in my rap. I did talk a lot of truth in my rap, how I came up, what I used to do, bloody wood whoop. But the pain in it, my feeling might make you feel some type of way. Where somebody, because of my rap now, they say, I know you killed somebody before. How you know that? Because your name is Killer. I kill people in music. Don't put that stigma on me. But because I don't kill, and I put that in my statement, now I'm not him no more. That's cool. That's how the world works. Mental health is a very, very strong subject to talk about, and people try to avoid it because they think when you hear mental health, like I said, it's somebody who's supposed to be on medication, somebody who's a little bit slower than other people, somebody who you know what I mean, they used to use that word. But no, you are mental too. I know I am. Positive or negative, I'm mental in the mud because I use my mentality to think what's my next action or what I'm gonna do or how I'm gonna feel about when somebody say something to me or how I'm gonna react to when somebody say something to me. It doesn't happen until after I decide what I want to do. That becomes part of my mental health. I can fast react. That's why I always say when you somebody talking, before you jump in to chime in, listen to the whole statement. Because the statement might be coming off wrong. And then right at the end, they say exactly what you need to hear. But if you chime in so quick to debate it before the statement is even finished, it goes to the same thing I said with my boy. It turns to a debate, an argument, then a fight. And then what word we use more than anything? That crazy. Man, you crazy. Crazy. It's like using the B word to some people. They can't stand that word. And when you say it, it makes them snap just like that. Crazy make people snap just like that too. Because they're dealing with issues, but they don't want to coincide the issue with being crazy. So that word hits. That word that makes somebody feel some type of way. The words that we use can affect the person's mental health. A situation that a person in can affect the person's mental health. Like I said, I didn't know that we didn't have it all when we was young. I thought that was normal life. And then you go to school, and then other kids talking about, man, you got this game on the PS3, and you want to lie about it because you still playing Atari. It'll start affecting your mental health. Once you start seeing it's something that you don't know about, it's something else that's out there that you didn't feel that it was that important, and to the other kids doing it, you go over your friend's house and they playing this game you never seen before, and you go home and you say, hey, I want the such and such and such. We can't afford that. That can affect the kid's mental health. So that's why we should always start back to the basics. Have the kids outside again. Get them into doing outside activities, reading books, doing everything outside, being on the internet and on the phones and on the TVs all day, because that becomes their world. It becomes their world. It's nothing else. It's nothing else that you can show them because this word has already told them everything they need to know. And then when they're not with you, they're watching things that you don't know because you're not paying attention to it. Because you might be dealing with your mental health because of work stress. Everybody deals with some kind of form of mental health. So let's respect each other more. Let's love more. Like I said, I was watching the thing the other day. I don't do a whole lot of internet, but I would say that I seen Trump on there, and before everybody killed me, oh, I knew you was a Trump supporter. I don't care about none of them in office. They all the same, but just with different names. Republican, Democrat, but they all do the same type of work. At the end of the day, once they get in, they're gonna do what they do, and we got to live with the consequences of what happened. But when I heard them say we need to put the Bible back in situations again, I was like, whoa, that is tight. That is tight. Because if you can crucify a person for taking a knee because of what the national anthem say at the end, the part they don't sing, so that's how we feel. Like, you can crucify me though, because I kneeled down and I didn't stand for something that's saying words that's detrimental to my people. But I'm supposed to go with everything else that y'all saying is right, which is just your opinion. Just for him to make that statement, I was like, that's what's up. Whether he was saying it for a popular review or whatever, I don't know. I just like because I heard it. I was like, dang, look at him. All right. We do it for real. That's what's up. That's what's up. But you don't have to like a person to respect a person. You don't have to deal with a person at all if you don't like them. I'm one of the ones who pretty much speak when I walk in the room. That's how I was raised. I know people who actually get mad if you don't speak to them, but they won't speak to you. But they'll bring it up that you ain't speak to them when their mouth working just as much as yours. When I walk in the room, I speak with a smile. It be snakes in the grass in there, so I speak collectively, so don't nobody feel like I'm coming for them. Good morning. How's everyone doing? Even you snakes. Good morning. How everyone doing? Because sometimes that takes attention off the mental health. Just me with that little act of kindness. Sometimes some of the people who know they wrong me, they try to pull me to the side later and be like, "Hey man, yesterday, bro, I said, hey, it's all good, bro. We can't change it. You said it. You can apologize for it. I accept it or whatever, but we can't change it. You let it fall out your mouth. You didn't think before you spoke. I got it. You said something that could have messed with my mental health if I allowed it. But I prayed for you last night, so we should be all good today. Protect each other, man. Respect each other. Understand that everybody is not you. People got their own way of living. People got their own thing. If you see somebody that's doing a little bad, worse than you, if you can help, help. If you can't help, shit, pray for them. You know what I mean? That's all you can do because mental health is a very, very, very humanized thing that we all deal with it in some form, shape, form, or fashion. Like I told you, the death of my people missed with my mental health. I spiraled to somebody I didn't want to be and didn't even notice it. I found an addiction to help me cope with my problems. That's mental health. I don't do nothing but just smoke weed all day. Well, it's the reason you smoke weed all day. You didn't come out the womb smoking weed. Not saying anything wrong with weed. I'm just going opinionated because y'all know y'all like to crucify your boy. It don't matter. But I know y'all like to do it. It's nothing wrong to saying you smoke weed, but you can overconsume anything. I was drinking a Red Bull. Matter of fact, I'm drinking one now. Hold on. I was drinking a Red Bull the other day, and somebody came up to me and said, "You know you shouldn't drink those. Those are bad for you." And I asked them, "What's not bad for you?" Beside God. Everything that's in this world is not good for us. You can overconsume anything. Don't you know you can drink too much water and die? Which is one of the most poorest forms that they want us to make sure that we stay, you know what I'm saying, hydrated. But you can drink too much water and die. But I could have went back and forth. Man, why you say it ain't good for me? And made a debate out of it. And then both our mental health would have been messed up because it would have turned to I would have been found out something that he did that was wrong. When I just literally made it easier for both of us to say, name something that's good for us outside of God. They change the food up. They steroid the meat. They they don't want you to grow your own stuff because they want to make sure they grow it more. So they put more product in there so it can grow more at a time. Protect your mental health. Understand that people only giving opinions. That's their opinion. You have one too. But this is the SP Network, man. I thought I'd stop by and just speak to y'all for a minute, man, because it's been on my mind. I've been dealing with a lot. You know what I'm saying? I don't really put all that type of business out, but I see it a lot on the social media where people go in there and they dealing with something and they want to express it to give people the opportunity to say something back. And sometimes it might be helpful to them, like to hear somebody say my condolence or I'm sorry or hey, you look good or something. It might be dealing with their mental health. They might feel they're not beautiful. And then hear somebody say, hey, beautiful, uplift them. They're not confident in themselves with their everyday job. And you going on there and you saying, hey man, you're doing a great job. It might uplift them. It could help with their mental health instead of tearing them down. We can do it. Just on us. Just know your boy Alec Killer love everybody. SP Solo Play, I think you know what it is.